Begonias. Begonias, a great house plant, and I'm here to talk to you about how to care for them. So begonias are a really awesome plant that many people use in the spring and summer as an annual outside. They also make great house plants. So I want to share a couple of tips with you on how to have success with your begonia houseplants. First, you need to make sure you are choosing begonias that do better in the home. There are some types that do better indoor as opposed to being your more outdoor annual types. So when choosing a begonia to keep inside, look for Rex types or ones that have more leaves than showy flowers. The showy flower types tend to not do as well inside over the winter. And then choosing a location for your begonia is super important. So begonias are shade-loving plants, but inside, you just don't have as much light as you do outside. So when choosing your location, you want to choose an area that has bright, indirect light. So that doesn't mean in the corner of a bright room. It usually means directly in front of a window that gets no direct hot sun, or up to 3 feet away from a bright window. So if you have a room that, with 3 sides of windows and it's really bright, anywhere in a room like that would be great. Winter in Ohio is harder. We just don't have a lot of sun. So you may want to keep an eye on your light. Think about adding some supplemental light in the winter, even if it's a good location in the summer indoors, just because of cloudy days that we have here in Ohio in the Midwest. When watering, you want to water well and then let them dry out a little bit on top in between waterings. So begonias are native to areas that stay hot and humid and they get watered often. So to replicate that in your home, you want to choose a well-draining soil mix and to water them well, and then wait until the top half of the soil is dry but the bottom is still damp before you water again. Also, choosing a pot with a hole in the bottom is going to help you have more success and also is going to make it easier for you to not overwater your plants. Begonias like being root bound, so don't stress about them being a little bit tight looking in their pots. They actually don't mind it. So you can see how full these guys are in their pots. I would think about repotting when you're having trouble keeping them watered appropriately because they're drying out too fast in between waterings. That's when I would consider uppotting. But like I said, they like to be able to dry out a little bit on top and drain through before you water them again. So when uppotting, don't go too big. Stick with the no more than 2 inches bigger than the pot they're currently in rule of thumb to make sure that you don't give them too much soil. So these are Rex types begonias. They have some really interesting hairs on the stems. They have pretty thick leaves. And this one has also hairs on top. This is Red Fred. It is one of everybody's favorites because it's got this insanely big leaf and it's so shiny and red, and then it's got those interesting stems. I think everybody who likes begonias likes Red Fred. Don't at me if you don't like it. This is a polka dot begonia. So these guys were pretty hard to get your hands on a few years ago, but now they're readily available. These are a really cool plant. Begonias, really cool plant, great house plant. Comment below, let us know what your favorite one is in your home.